Good afternoon and welcome to the 2023 St. Vincent Building and Loan Association Scholarship Award Ceremony. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you here this afternoon. My name is Candice Seeley. I'm the Marketing Officer here at Building and Loan, and I also have the privilege of being your Mistress of Ceremonies this afternoon. Before we get started, I would like to invite Mrs. Roxine, Ragate Duke, our internal auditor, to lead us in a word of prayer. We ask that you stand, please.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we want to thank you so much for bringing all of us here this afternoon to honor the accomplishments, the dedication and hard work of the SVBLA's 2023 Scholarship Awardees. Father, we ask that you will take control of this ceremony. We pray for the parents, we pray for the guardians, and we pray for the well-wishers who are here this afternoon. We ask a special blessing also on the scholarship holders who are in our midst. Lord, may you take control of this ceremony. May you guide and direct the presenters and those who will bring special remarks. Father, we thank you, and we know that you are going to do it according to your will and to your plan. And at the end, Lord, you will get the glory. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you very much, Roxine. Members of the St. Vincent Building and Loan Association Board of Directors, CEO of SVBLA, Mr. Elroy R. John, members of the SVBLA Executive Management Team, St. Vincent Building and Loan Association staff, scholarship awardees, members of the press, parents, guardians, well-wishers, good afternoon. Now, winning a scholarship is definitely a momentous occasion, a momentous event in the life of a student. And this afternoon, we celebrate you. We celebrate you, the scholarship awardees. We celebrate your success. We recognize your grit, your passion, and your achievement, as well as your determination, both as first-time scholarship recipients, as well as awardees who continue to work hard year after year at secondary school and also at the college level. Now, the ability to focus is a secret element to success that is often ignored, which is why this afternoon the theme of our ceremony is distractions don't look like distractions until they finish distracting you. According to Daniel Goleman, a psychologist and author of The Hidden Drive of Excellence, students' attention is under siege more so than any time in history. We have more distractions than ever before. We have to be more focused and focus on cultivating the skills and attention. So we hope this afternoon to captivate your attention in every possible way with our dynamic speakers. And to kick things off, we would like to invite Mrs. Ava Weeks, the Customer Service Manager, to bring some welcome remarks. Let's welcome Mrs. Weeks.
A pleasant good afternoon, everyone. It's always a pleasure to get
year after year at secondary
to engage with our parents and students.
Pleasant good afternoon, everyone.
Association.
Always a work hard year after year at secondary
for this year's scholarship ceremony. Distractions don't look like
work hard year after year at secondary
for this year's scholarship ceremony. Distractions don't look like
work hard year after year at secondary
have the opportunity to use the time to
work hard year after year at
products
secondary
and offerings of the association.
So
St. Vincent Building Association has been a building society established since 1939 to offer a wide range of building society positive smart saver, permanent chairs, and we also offer non-smart saver, permanent chairs, in my personal life. I love parents talking about it, having my children to engage. I love parents talking about it, And we offer insurance products for your home insurance, we offer insurance products, bill payment insurance, we offer Facebook online engagement for utility establishments around the online engagement convenience so from the products that I mentioned, one of the products that seems rather appealing that I mentioned, one of those things that would be seems rather appealing that I mentioned is a product that is geared towards rather and it is one of our highest entrepreneurs and earns a rather 4%. So it's rather attractive. So for those of you who don't yet have a bank account, the best time to start is now. Starting with the early savings habit is very important. Early savings habit. We have over the years offered scholarship saving members. We have over the years offered scholarship saving members. And we have through successful CPA examinations, persons who would have sent in their applications, and for all of you who are present here, you would have experienced the process with us over the years, and for those who are now being onboarded, welcome to our SVBL family. We usually have the opportunity to engage our scholarship holders, at least 2 persons, on occasions where we allow them to gain some job exposure and job experience by working for a short period at the association during their summer vacation. This year, our scholarship holder, Kewandre Richards, had the opportunity to work at the association for 2 weeks from the period 31st August to the 11th of August, 2023, right on cue, Kewandre. Good afternoon. And she is currently awaiting her CSEC results. This year, we are happy to be offering 3 merit SVBLE scholarships, and they will be awarded to Dress Compton, who will be attending the St. Vincent Grammar School, Maya Samuel, and Phoenix Boye, who will be attending the St. Vincent Girls High School. We extend congratulations to the students for their exceptional performance at the CPA examinations, and we hope that they feel honored to be holders of the St. Vincent Building and Loan Association Scholarship. We also have with us today, as I mentioned, persons who are on our existing scholarship roll, and we continue to encourage you to stay focused. Stay focused on your goals and try to engage in extracurricular activities that will lend to your holistic or well-rounded development. While we expect you to maintain an average of 65%, we want you to continue to strive for excellence, both in your academic performance and in your conduct as well, as there are many distractions that are competing for your attention. On behalf of the Board of Directors, the CEO, the management and staff, we wish each of our scholarship holders all the best for the upcoming academic year.
Thank you very much, Ava. We'll now welcome Mrs. Petion Green, the Chief Risk and Compliance Officer, who will be sharing some remarks as well.
All right, good evening, everyone, parents, guardians, students. The St. Vincent Building and Loan Association is extremely proud to be hosting this ceremony today in your honor. And for me, it is a privilege and my pleasure to be standing here speaking briefly to you. There is no single definition for success. It varies from person to person. Success can be easily defined as the satisfaction that you get from achieving your goal. Success comes with problems because the road to success is full of many distractions. And as our team says, distractions don't look like distractions until they finish distracting you. To be successful in life, you need to be determined and have a plan to reach your goal. Success is directly proportional to the efforts and the time spent to reach your goal. Without being distracted by friends, occasions or events, or by your own self-doubts. It may be exhausting, but it simply means that you need to prioritize and work on the important things that would lead you to that success. Now, many of us fear that we won't be able to succeed or that we would disappoint our parents or ourselves. But disappointment is sometimes important because it helps us to define our path. Getting back to the point or getting back on point after disappointment shows our strength of spirit and character and teaches us who we truly are. Don't be afraid to step up, to work hard, to face your hurdles head on, because it will help you to succeed. The president, the board of directors, the membership urge you to make the best use of the scholarship being awarded to you today and ask you to learn to recognize distractions that can derail you in your pursuit of your goal. To conclude, remember, the most important things you need to succeed are hard work, determination, a plan, faith in yourself, and in God. Most successful people are very good at managing their time. And if you want to be successful in life, you have to learn to manage your time as well. Finally, don't take success so extreme that you forget to take care of yourself, your mental, and your physical health. I see Franz George is here. I know you're going to love that part. So, parents, when you're focusing on pushing your child to be successful, don't forget to also focus on their mental health and their physical health and well being as well. Work on the process of achieving your goals, and you will be successful. All right, thank you.
Some very good advice there from Mrs. Green. Now, this afternoon, students in particular, we want you to be motivated, we want you to be inspired and encouraged by the incredible stories of our distinguished speakers. They have either conquered or avoided distractions and obstacles, or they have taken advantage of opportunities that were presented to them. Our first speaker, Mr. Franz George, is a previous Building and Loan Scholarship recipient. We are thrilled to have played a pivotal role in his education journey. Franz is an organizational and a business consultant. Through a combination of business and psychological strategies, he empowers organizations and businesses to achieve higher efficiency and achieve greater impact. Franz is also passionate about youth development and leadership. He firmly believes that the youth hold the solutions to the world's problems, and young people can achieve anything once they commit themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our first speaker, Franz George.
Good afternoon, everyone. No man like y'all sleeping. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Scholars, good afternoon. Wow, being all shy. All right, folks. I'm really happy to be here this afternoon. I mean, it's always a pleasure to engage building alone, but this afternoon is a special occasion for me because, as was mentioned, I sat right here, I think 20 years ago, thereabout. Probably, yes, just about 20 years ago, right? When I was just a student at grammar school, and I was also invited as a recipient of the Building and Loan Scholarship. So for me to come here and to make a presentation to all of you, for me, it's full circle. It's nostalgic, and for me, it just shows that if I could have made it this far, you were just starting your journey. You could do probably even better than me, right? That is the hope, anyways. So distractions don't look like distractions until they finish distracting you. Okay, so I'm gonna run a quick exercise. Um, Let me see all the smartphones out. You could take them out. You could take them out. Um, Those of you who have data, or if you're connected to the Wi-Fi, I want you to look up the definition of a distraction very quickly. And the first person who finds it, just put up your hand and you read it out for me so everybody could hear. Anyone? Go ahead, Kimmy. I think you probably found a definition.
It says a thing that prevents someone from concentrating on something else, um, or an extreme agitation of the mind.
Right? Good. So it takes your attention away from something that you're supposed to be focusing on. Right? Now, I want anyone to answer this question. Do all distractions come in the form of bad things? Everyone says no? Right, good, good. And I'm going to tell a story right now to demonstrate that. So the story is about a hiker. And he had the challenge of getting to the peak of a mountain before the sun set. However, the path to the peak, it passed through a village, it passed a waterfall, it passed through a lush pasture where there were a lot of fruit trees, and it went from a plain, a slight slope to a very steep climb, right? And he set out early in the morning. And on his way, of course, he came to the pasture first, where there were lots of fruit trees. He stopped, picked a couple of fruits, had something to eat. Fruits are nutritious, right? And of course, he needed energy for the journey as well. So nothing wrong with stopping to take a few fruits here and there for the journey. Then he was hiking and going along, and then he met an old lady who needed some help. So he stopped to help her, and then she invited him to the community just so he could meet a few other community members. He said, "Oh, that's a nice thing to do." So he went, socialized a bit, even got some advice in terms of how to climb the mountain, and then he continued on. Then he was feeling very hot because the sun was out. This is probably about 1 o'clock now, and the sun blazing. So he decided to say, "Boy, let me stop by the river and just take a little cool off. I need to cool off before I could reach the top." Then after he did that, he said, "Boy, I have enough time. Let me hurry up and go up the mountain." And then he got to the steep part. However, as he got to the steep part, he realized that he was not anticipating the slope to be so steep, which meant that as he continued up that part of the journey, it started to take more effort, and that required him to hustle harder, hustle more, and time was running out. Unfortunately, he got to the peak just after sunset. Now, the reason why he needed to get to the peak is because the cabin that was at the peak, where he would spend the night, closes the gate at sunset, which meant that now he was stuck outside for the entire night. He lost the opportunity of having a nice warm bed, having a nice warm meal, and somewhere to rest so that he could enjoy the view in the morning when the sun was rising again. Now, the reason why I wanted to tell this particular story is because when we look at the hiker, the things that he did along the journey weren't necessarily bad things. Because, as I said, stopping for some fruits, nothing wrong with eating fruits, right? Fruits are healthy, not true? Right? Then you could argue and say, well, the fruits were needed so that he could eat along the way up. Stopping to help an old lady, of course, that's something that was very kind of him. And to accept the invitation to even go to her community and socialize a bit, that too was something that, you know, an old lady invited to come on out of the kindness of her heart. Why refuse? But what we realized is that that too, even though it was something good to do, still took time. Then when he stopped at the river to take a little cool off, we could argue that was needed so he could revitalize himself for the journey to come. But when we really look at the end result, we realize that all those things took time away from what he needed to reach the cabin in time. Now, if we were to look at the story, we could realize that one, he could have continued up that journey even though he was hot and sweaty, right? Because at the cabin, he could have cooled off there. Secondly, he could have visited the old ladies' community on his way back down, right? Thirdly, would have realized that even though the foods are healthy and nutritious and would have given him energy, he may not have needed them to complete the task of getting to the cabin on time, especially since there might have been food at the cabin. So, in retrospect, he realized that the things that he had done on the journey, even though they weren't bad things, did not help him to achieve his goal. In fact, they prevented him from achieving his goal. Right? Now, the reason why I want to tell you this particular story today is because in your journey as students and soon to be professionals, one day you are going to have to navigate life just as that hiker had to navigate his journey up to that mountain. And you are going to have goals that you are going to need to achieve. And you're going to have to know what things to do to get there to achieve your goal without being distracted. And I just wanted to leave just a few tips with you. I know many of you are young, and there's a demand for all of us to be well rounded persons. We are required to be great in academics, we're required to be great team workers, we must be sociable and know how to connect to people. We also need to keep our health up. In fact, some of you might even be encouraged to take up a sport. You are encouraged to have hobbies. You're encouraged to spend time with your family. You're encouraged to do this, do that. The list can go on and on and on. And that's a lot of pressure, if you ask me, on young people. In fact, that was how I felt, right? And I remember that when I entered university at UWI in Jamaica, one of the first things that overwhelmed me was when we went to the student fair. The very first week of being there were all these clubs and societies encouraging you to come and join or come and do this, come and be a part of that and this and that and whatever. And yet still, you're required to do all these readings, get all these assignments done, pass your exams. And of course, you don't just want to pass, you want to pass with a high enough GPA, right? So it was so overwhelming for me. And I'll be honest with you, there were quite a few of those things which were good that I said, okay, I'll take up this, take up that while trying to study. And truth and told, they became distractions. Because when I look back at my performance in university, I did well. But one thing that stings me to this day was that I missed a first class honors. That's like the highest award you could get, literally by 0.05. The mark was 3.6, and I had 3.55. And the reason why I got that is because there was one particular course that got me a B. And the reason why I got a B is because instead of focusing all my time on that, I was like, okay, I could have made time for club, I could have made time for this, I've made time for that, right? So that stings me to this day. Now, I don't want that to happen to you. And I don't want you to end up like the hiker. So these are some tips. First of all, you must decide or have an understanding of what exactly you want to achieve. Now, I don't expect you to figure that out just yet, right? But I'm encouraging you that over the course of the next couple months, As you lead up to the next term, try to find out what is it that you want to achieve for the school year, for the duration of your time in high school, in college, or even beyond that. After doing that, you must write down all your tasks, right? So you need to write down your tasks for the day, for the week, for the month. Try to do that as much as you can. After that, you must determine which ones are most important. For the hiker, what was the most important task? Tell me. Go ahead, you were saying something? All right. Anyone? To get to the peak, but get there before the sun set. That was his most important task. And so you must have an understanding of what your most important tasks are. Make a list, write them down so you could always keep track. Then, after doing that, you must stick to a schedule that reflects the importance of those tasks. So, for the hiker, he needed to have gotten to the peak at sunset or before sunset. So, of course, that was what he needed to have done first. Then we could have said, well, on his way down, he could have probably passed by the community where the old lady had invited him. Then he could have said, well, I could have stopped by the river afterwards. And then finally, if I still felt like I wanted some fruits, the hiker could have gotten some fruits, right? Learn to prioritize and stick to the schedule. After that, tackle your most intense and high effort tasks first. So for the hiker, getting to the peak was an intense task because remember, it went from the plain to a very steep slope. That would have required a lot of energy. So you need to do that. You need to tackle your most important, high intense, high effort task first. Then after that, focus on one task at a time. Now, we live in a world where we're told that we need to know how to multitask. And that is one of the biggest lies that we have ever been told. And we sometimes actually tell ourselves, oh no, man, I could concentrate on more than one thing at the same time. So I could listen to music while I'm studying. Or I could have a show on display on one screen while I'm typing up my assignment on the other. No. Studies actually show that when you do that, you actually retain less information and the quality of the work that you do diminishes. So young people, put down the phone them, turn off the TV, take out the AirPods, turn off the music, and just try to focus deeply. And summing it all up, acknowledge what you can realistically do. And that was one of my problems, to be honest. That cost me that 0.5 for that GPA. I thought I could have done the clubs, done all of this, done that, and still study and gotten a good grade. And sadly, I suffered the consequences, right? I don't want that to happen to you. So these tips, I want you to remember them as much as you can, and not just remember them, but apply them, right? Because what I want is that for you, the scholars, you don't end up like that hiker. Instead, I want you to get to the peak of your success without distractions preventing you from getting there on time. Because the reality is, even though, time is fluid, we all have limited time. And so you need to make the best use of it, right? So this is my encouragement to you. Try to avoid distractions. Try to decipher what would distract you and learn to prioritize. And I'm hoping that next 20 years, instead of me being here speaking to scholars, it could be you. Right? So folks, all the best.
Thank you so much for that inspiring story and those helpful tips. We're now getting ready to welcome our second featured speaker, Miss Kimia Glasgow. Kimia is the founder and creative director of the Kimia Glasgow brand a sustainable, affordable luxury clothing and lifestyle brand producing resort and ready-to-wear clothing, accessories, home goods, and fragrance. A proud Caribbean citizen of Trinidadian and Vincentian heritage, she holds an associate degree in fashion with over 20 years fashion industry experience, including creative direction of Fashion Caribbean, SVG's largest and most prestigious catwalk event. She is a 2009 Caribbean Fashion Awards winner with awards for achievement in design from Carib Nation Inc. of Washington, D.C., and Shabu magazine, and received a 2014 Influential Woman Award here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. A great believer in sharing knowledge, coach and consultant on several projects, including skills development through independently hosting skills training workshops and introductory fashion courses, as well as with the SVG Adult Education Unit and Beckway Threadworks, a social enterprise garment manufacturing hub. She has previously sat on the board of the SVG Chamber of Industry and Commerce and currently serves on the board of the SVG National Cultural Foundation. She has also spearheaded the formation of the Fashion Association of St. Vincent and the Grenadines as a founding member and currently holds the role of board secretary. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome Kimia Glasgow.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, great. Needed some more energy. Well, this is a complete honor and privilege for me to be here today. Protocols having been established. And also, I just have to say thank you so much to Mr. George for warming things up for me, and you actually helped me to cross off some things from this thing. So I thank you for that. So I have entitled my presentation as Thriving Amidst Distractions to Unleash Your Creative Potential. Now, some of you might be confused because if you're not doing creative subjects, you're like, what does creativity have to do with me? But you'll find that even in academia, having creativity helps you to be better at academia. And of course, if you're creative, it helps you to be even more creative. And we're going to look at creative ways that you can face distractions and not let them become a liability or a problem for you in your path. So, my amazing achievers, that's my name for you guys today. We're diving into this exciting world of success, of creativity, and the art of conquering distractions. We're all in this together, and guess what? You're here because you're already on the path to success. If you hadn't done well, you wouldn't be in the seat that you're in right now. So let's talk about making your path even brighter and more exciting. We all know distractions. They're those pesky things that pull your attention away from what truly matters. And it's anything that pulls your attention, like the definition, from concentrating on the task. It could include things that you want to do, and of course, a racing mind. And I have something to share on that. Sometimes you might be studying and your little sister's running in and out of the room, somebody's yelling, the TV's on, and there's so many things coming at you, and all you know is that you have this assignment to get done at the end of the evening. Well, today I'm going to equip you with some superpowers and some tools to help you to face these distractions. Can anyone give me an example of what is a distraction to them? Especially the scholarship owners. Your mummies and daddies and your grandmothers are here. Somebody be brave, put up your hand. Everybody's avoiding me. You want me to ask a grown-up instead? Mr. George, you'll be honest.
My phone.
Your phone,
Yeah.
right?
So as in everything about calls, texts, social media. So whenever I have to do work, I literally have to put this on silent, put it on the opposite end of the room, so I can sit down and concentrate on work.
Mr. John, can I put you on the spot?
Definitely.
What are your biggest distractions?
Right now, CPL cricket would be my biggest.
That's actually just like your point. Distractions are not always bad things. Cricket is a good one. So, how does someone manage distractions? So, I'm going to share a secret with you today. I've been fighting distractions all my life. And this year, I realized that I might have ADHD. Does anybody know what ADHD is? Can I see by show of hands? Dress, do you want to share with us? Do you have an idea what it is? No, you're like, Dress is like, I'm not here, right? It's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So I've gone through my whole life with a condition that, among other things, gives you something that's called time blindness. It could affect you with things like anxiety. It can give you depression. And also, it gives you racing brain. Too many ideas, too at the same time. You okay? Too many ideas at the same time going through your brain. And that was a distraction. So you have to come back. So you have to come back. You have to come back. So it's like you have your computer open and you have many, many tabs open and you keep clicking from tab to tab. And just like Mr. George said, can't do everything one time. And I went through that phase when I came out of school where everybody was telling you to multitask. You can do everything at one time. And I thought I was a great multitasker. But just like in those movies, when there's a pill, is the mic on? Yeah. But y'all can hear me, right? Okay. So just like in the movies, when you see somebody takes a pill and they think it makes them superhuman and they write their best novel, it comes back to them thinking when they read it, it's complete nonsense. Because really and truly, they were trying to do everything. Way back. We're trying to do everything at one time. So because of my ADHD, I can be your distraction fighting partner, your mentor, your superhero, to turn you into superheroes. So even when you have ADHD, you can still, like I have done, run a successful business, several small businesses actually. I launched my perfume line, and I'm the first designer in the entire Caribbean to actually have her own perfume line. Nobody else had done it before me, and form an association and be on many boards. And how do you get that done? So, like Mr. George says, set clear goals. But I'll go further than that. I work with 5-year plans. And this is what a lot of executives, a lot of big businesses do. They don't just turn up in the morning and go, what I feel like doing today. They actually have a long-term plan, and you have to have a long-term plan. So 5 years from now, I want to be a master crochet. I'm going to start setting what they call milestones. So 5-year mark, 3-year mark, 2-year mark. By 2 years from now, I should know all the basic crochet techniques. 3 years from now, I should already have been teaching people. 5 years, I should have written a book. We're going to forget about the mic. I should have written a book and I should have formed a cooperative of women who create wealth from crochet. But then we break it down into a year, into 6 months. What should I be doing 3 months from now? And I could tell you every week I should probably be on Pinterest looking for crochet ideas and trying to find out how much it costs to get crochet hooks, yarn, etc. So you guys, in 5 years, where do you want to be? Graduating, right? With big grades, going to college of your choice. So if you want to get there in 5 years, that means that every day, every week, every month, every 3 months, every 6 months, something has to be happening to get you to that goal. But it starts with the little. But if you know what your big goal is and you write it down and you break it back down to one day, it will become an easier task for you. So you're not so overwhelmed. Overcoming overwhelm. As Mr. George said, you have all these ideas going around in your head and you can't focus. Write it down. Get it out of your head onto a piece of paper. It's called, there's an actual term for it, a brain dump. Everybody knows what's a dump. A place where you take everything and you throw everything. So you throw it on that piece of paper and then You start to bring it down into, is this my personal stuff? Is this my school stuff? Is this hobbies that I want to do? You break that down. But you break it down even further. And Mr. George said it, but there's an actual name for it, and I want you to look it up. It's called an Eisenhower matrix, right? Where you break things into a quadrant. When I say quadrant, are you hearing quad? Like quad bike means four. So you cut everything into four. What is the most urgent and important? What is important but not urgent? And so on and so forth. And certain things, you put that first on the list. That's the big fire burner on the stove. And certain things, you ask your parents to do it. You ask your little sister and your brother to do it because it's not urgent and it's not important. Delegating distractions. So, oh, sorry, defeating distractions. Your favorite TV show is about to drop and you have an assignment to finish. Which one do you do? Phoenix, which one do you do? You do the assignment. But then you're sad, right? Because you want to see your favorite TV show. So here's what you do. The thing that meets your big goal, right? You do that first. And the other thing, you say that as a reward. So when you finish doing what you're supposed to do, you get to do what you want to do. So you use that as a reward. Or you say, you know what? I'm going to ask mommy for a bowl of ice cream because I did my work. Or I'm going to ask if we could go to the beach. So do something that's going to help you to get what you want, but do the thing that you need to do first. And of course, turn off the TV, turn off the phone, put it far, far, far away. Master concentration. So we're going to do a little exercise. Everybody has a bottle of water, right? And what we're going to do is an exercise in something that's called mindfulness. So mindfulness, as the definition says, is a mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment. So you can calm down and acknowledge and accept your feelings, your thoughts, and your bodily sensations. So you have your bottle of water, right? And I want you to open it. Everybody, mummies and daddies too. And I want you to take a sip of the water, right? Felt good, right? Now I want you to do it again, but listen to what I'm going to say to you. As you put it to your lips, I want you to feel the bottle on your lips. I want you, not yet. I want you to feel the water as it touches your lips, as it goes on your tongue, and then you're going to hold it there for a little while, and then you're going to take your time and you're going to swallow it and feel the water. Okay, so I'm going to instruct. So we're going to do it. Put the bottle to your lips, feel it. You're going to take some in your mouth. Acknowledge how the drops feel on your mouth. You're going to take water and roll it along your tongue. Feel it, hold it there for a little while. And then you're going to slowly swallow and you're going to feel it going down the back of your throat. Was there a difference in the two ways that you sip the water? No. Phoenix says no. Right? No, but honesty is important. But if you take it and slow it down, and it helps sometimes if the water is cold water, because what I like to do, put it in a nice clear glass with ice cubes, and you look at the water, you see the ice cubes, you see the way the light hits it, then you take the sip and you just slow it down. You slow time down. And instead of studying what you have to do when you go home or what happened in school today, you're in the now, in the presence, right? Phoenix is not buying this at all, right? So I'm gonna find another exercise just for you, but don't worry about that. But what I'm saying, there are the importance of mindfulness, and I wish that schools practice mindfulness for their students more because it takes all of that mind pumping and it brings it into the present. And what this is an actual technique that I learned during the pandemic. Because when we have all of those back-to-back Zoom meetings, your brain starts to get tired and you're fatigued. And this helps you to refresh your brain and calm your brain down so that you can go on to the next task without stressing. Right. So I'm skipping over that one because, as Mr. George says, creative ideas. Okay, just in a nutshell, when your brain is racing, that is also a time to write down things, right? Because all the brain racing is not a bad thing. In that brain racing might be an idea, right? And it may be a key idea for something that you want to do. It could be an invention that you're coming up with that nobody else has thought of. Write down your racing mind ideas because not all racing mind is a bad thing. And it's a way of calming your racing mind. So please always write down new things and it gets them out of your brain onto the paper. The power of your crew. If you have friends who are going to be complete distractions to you, you need to check who your friend group is. And I'm not saying abandon your friends, but I'm saying form a group of friends that's going to help you to focus, a study group, an accountability partner. I can share a story that when I lived in the British Virgin Islands, I went there specifically after I graduated. I would say the strong suggestion of my father, who said to me, "Oh, you want to open business? Where you getting the money from? Go and work and save your money." So I went to the BVI specifically to make money, to save money, to come back to open my business. But just like the hiker, I got caught up in the office lime and the nice food and the restaurants, and I wasn't saving any money. A year goes by, and I said, "This is nonsense." And I started with my 5-year plan, and I had a friend in the office. She had big goals too. And we decided we would be each other's accountability partner. So we would meet once a week, sometimes every other week, and we would say, "Where have you reached this week? Did you do your weekly goal? Did you do your daily goal? How far you reached?" And by meeting with her, when I got paid, I had a certain amount of money that I would go and put in the bank and in an account that I couldn't access easily. And I would run, drop it in, don't touch it. And that's how I managed to come back home and open my business because I became focused, laser focused, but I had a partner to do it with me. Sometimes, if your parents would let you, the one good thing I would say with the phone or the tablet, if you have a serious study partner or a study group, you can turn on the computer and you guys can work together without talking and laughing and giggling on what you're doing, right? It's just having somebody there that you can look up, see them on the screen, they're studying, you studying, everybody's studying. So that is also, so I'm saying this so the parents can hear me, so the electronics can be a tool. It doesn't always have to be what it's a distraction. And of course, you concentrate on your small wins. One thing we would say about planning, if you wanted to get to go to Oya Salt Pond, you need to know how you're gonna get there, right? You need to know who's gonna cook the pillow, who's gonna make the coleslaw, right? If you don't have a plan, you might end up down Leeward and don't know how you get there. You might end up by Rawaku Salt Pond and don't know how you get there. You always have to have a plan. So we're going to do one more mindfulness exercise, right? So hopefully, Phoenix, you'll get this one. All right. So everybody's gonna close their eyes. You have to close your eyes. That's part of it. Close your eyes. And adults, this works for all of us too, right? So you're going to imagine a golden light over your head, right? And I want you to take your hand and put it on your chest where your heart is. And I want you to feel and focus on how your the chair is against your back. Close your eyes, sir. I'm seeing you. Feel how the chair feels against the backs of your legs, how your feet feel on the floor. And with your hand on your chest, I want you to feel your breath going in and out, and you're feeling your heartbeat. And I want you to take a big breath in through your nose for a count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it. Exhale for a count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breath in again for a count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're going to feel your breath naturally coming in through your nose and blow it out through your mouth. Everybody keep your eyes closed, try and focus. This is all about conquering your distractions. And that golden light, you're going to envision it going into your head, behind your eyes, swirling around behind your eyes. You're going to feel it in your jaw. Picture it going down into your throat, into your chest, in your back, into your stomach, down into your pelvis, into your legs, through your knees, into your calves, down into your feet. And then you're going to feel that golden light spread throughout your entire body. And then the golden light is going to expand so it surrounds your body. And then we're going to take some deep breaths again. In for a count of 5 through your nose. Hold it for 5. Exhale for 5. And now you can open your eyes. You feel any differently than before? Those of y'all who actually did it, because I saw some people with their eyes open. But anybody could tell me, how did you feel? It relaxed you, right? And that's what I'm saying. The world is full of distractions. And if you take the time, and I could tell you, I meditate now every single day. And it's part of my prayers. I do my prayers and then I meditate, right? And the days that I miss it, I can feel a difference. And when I have things that make me nervous, like when I go to the doctor and he's going to take my blood pressure, I actually sit in his office and I will take breaths. And I notice a difference between when I normally get it taken and now, because it actually has a scientific there's scientific studies that tell you that mindfulness actually works. So these are some of the tools that you can use to help to bring you into a state of calm to help you with your studying. So to wrap this up, you have the power to succeed despite distractions. They might try to throw you off course, but you're stronger than that. The path might be bumpy, but where there's growth, anything is possible. The world is full of distractions, but it's also bursting with opportunities. With the right strategies and the right mindset and the passion to succeed, you can turn these distractions into stepping stones towards your dreams. So remember, amazing achievers, you're not alone on this journey. You have a community, building a lone community that is here to help you and support you. And they're going to also be your distraction fighters and help you to stay on course. So let's unleash your creative potential, crush those distractions, and show the world what you are made of. Right? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kimia. Can we give Kimia and Franz a round of applause, please? So now it's time to recognize our high achievers, our scholars, our awardees. So as Ava would have mentioned earlier, we do have 3 persons who are receiving scholarships for the first time. And I would invite the CEO, Mr. John, to assist with the first set of distribution of scholarship certificates. Okay, let's invite Dres Compton. Dres is the recipient of, one of the recipients of the 2023 award. Dres placed 5th for boys and 5th overall in the CPA exams. Okay, so we're good to go now with the mic. Their next recipient of their 2023 scholarship from the building, St. Vincent Building Alone, is Maya Samuel. Maya placed 7th for girls and 19th overall in the CPA exams. Congratulations to Maya. She's looking shy. Let's welcome the next recipient, Phoenix Rose Bowie. Sorry about that, Phoenix Rose Bowie. Phoenix placed 17th for girls and 35th overall in the CPA exams. So congratulations to all of the 2023 recipients. Now, you would have heard me mention earlier that we still have to send congratulations to the existing awardees who year after year continue to work hard in secondary school or at the college level. So right now we would welcome Raman Matthews. Raman is a 2021 recipient of the Building Alone Scholarship. He is progressing to Form 3 at the St. Vincent Grammar School. Congratulations, Ramon. Jason John, also a 2021 scholarship recipient, progressing to Form 3 at the St. Vincent Grammar School. Congratulations, Jason. Kimani Johnson, a 2020 scholarship recipient. Kimani is progressing to Form 4 at the St. Vincent Grammar School. Congratulations. Olivia Prescott, a 2020 scholarship recipient, progressing also to Form 4 at the St. Vincent Girls High School. Thank you very much, Mr. John. We'll now invite Director Gary Lewis to assist with the remainder of the distribution of their goodie bags and certificates. Sakari Burnett, I apologize if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. 2020 scholarship recipients progressing to Form 4 at the St. Vincent Grammar School. Divany Little, a 2019 scholarship recipient, attending the St. Joseph Convent, Kingstown, and progressing to Form 5. Samara Allen, a 2019 scholarship recipient, a student at the Bethel High School, progressing to Form 5. Kiwandra Richards, and you heard earlier that Kiwandra actually recently completed a 2-week internship here at the St. Vincent Billing and Loan Association. She is a 2018 scholarship recipient, currently awaiting CSEC results. Sky Williams, a 2018 scholarship recipient, also awaiting CSEC results. And Nikolai Williams, a 2017 scholarship recipient. Is Nikolai? Okay, Nikolai is not here. I also want to recognize a few of the students who are currently out of state, but we would like to still mention them. Therese Oliver, Annabelle McMaster, Luca Melville, they are all 2022 recipients. Giselle De Silva, 2020 recipient. Zeph John was not able to be here today, but he's a 2021 scholarship recipient. Jaden Edwards Barry, a 2019 recipient, and Danielle Blake, a 2018 recipient, and Maya John, a 2017 recipient. So congratulations to all of you. I know this is not on the program, but just a little surprise, we would like to invite our speakers up to receive a little token of appreciation. Joanne, we will invite you to hand over the tokens of appreciation. It's a surprise all around. So let's start with Mr. George.
Very unexpected, but thanks.
And Kimia Glasgow, another token for you, token of appreciation for being here this afternoon. At this time, I would like to hand you over to Andrea James. She is the Legal and Compliance Officer, to offer a vote of thanks. Before she comes on, just to let you guys know, we would like to have a group photo of all of the scholarship recipients after the vote of thanks. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I've been given the privilege of delivering the vote of thanks here this afternoon. And I would like to first thank Mrs. Roxine Raglidew for opening this afternoon's proceedings with a word of prayer. I would also like to thank Ms. Candice Seeley for performing the role of Mistress of Ceremonies so ably and efficiently this afternoon. Thanks also to Mrs. Ava Weeks for welcoming everyone present. Thank you to Mrs. Pethian Green for delivering her motivational remarks here this afternoon. I'd like to thank the featured speakers, Mr. Franz George and Ms. Kimia Glasgow, for their inspiring presentations here this afternoon. I think we can all walk away, not just the students, but the adults as well, can all walk away with some nuggets of advice. I'd like to thank Director Gary Lewis and also the CEO, Mr. Elroy John, for assisting with the presentations this afternoon to the awardees. And lastly, I would like to thank, most importantly, the awardees, new and past, for attending here this afternoon, along with their parents, and take the opportunity to wish all of you the best for the upcoming school year.